Hi everyone, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? Today we're going to talk about city directories, and specifically I'm going to share with you 5 steps that you need to walk through in order to analyze that city directory as you research for your ancestor there. Now I love city directories, I can tell you that, and you can find such wonderful stories about your ancestors and information you might not find other places. So let's get started. The first step that you want to do when you find a city directory that you want to research is to really determine what locations are included in that city directory and how they are laid out within that directory. Sometimes smaller communities, if they didn't have their own directory, might be included in a larger town close by. So be sure and check those directories and just see what communities might have been included. The second step that you have would be to examine the table of contents. Typically, you're going to find that at the beginning, obviously, of that directory, and look and see what is listed. You might find listings by names. Maybe you'll find listings laid out by the streets. Maybe you're going to find listings of officers or important people in certain committees. Town government offices might be laid out there. I've seen everything from the officials who ran the lunatic asylum listed out in the table of contents to finding information on the firemen, those kinds of things. So look at that table of contents and see what might be of interest for you as you research your particular ancestor. The really nice thing about that table of contents, when you see everything that's listed out and that they gathered, is go ahead and take a look anyway, even if your ancestors aren't there, because that's going to give you a sense of your ancestors' community. What was there? What was important? Who were the leaders? So that gives you a nice sense of the community that they lived in, and that may come back to help you in the future when you get stuck at brick walls. Never a bad thing, guys, to understand that your ancestors' community, where they lived, who they were living among, and the types of things that were important to the community. So don't ever miss that step when you have that opportunity to find that information. Okay, your third step, guys, is to learn the abbreviations. Now, typically, you'll find a list of abbreviations for that directory, kind of toward the front, somewhere toward the front of the directory. Sometimes you'll find it in the back, but usually it's toward the front or maybe at the bottom of one of the early pages. You really want to pay attention to that. And if you're doing a lot of research in there, go ahead and kind of make a copy of it and write down those abbreviations so that you know what they are as you're going through and finding information on your ancestors. You don't want to misinterpret an entry for your ancestor or miss it altogether simply because you didn't understand the abbreviation and understand what that entry was telling you. So make sure you take time to learn those abbreviations. All right, guys, the fourth step, this is the fun step. You get to start searching for your ancestors. Go ahead and dive in. You know what locations are included for that directory. You've looked at the table of contents. You know what types of, how the information is divided up. You know what the abbreviations are, so you're ready to dive in and start looking for those ancestors. And good luck with that. Now, the fifth step, as you're analyzing that city directory and looking for your ancestors, is to check for the additions or late entries that might have been included. Now, maybe you didn't find your ancestors like in step number 4, but maybe they really were there. So check these additions, these late entries. These are the lists that kind of came up at the last minute, either that were printed later, didn't make that first printing, or for whatever reason, they didn't get into that first round of information. So they just did basically an addendum and called it additions or late entries. Could be called something else. Again, they should be listed under your table of contents, but check the beginning of the directory and check the end of the directory for these late additions. I've seen them both places, and it's a wonderful way. That way you don't want to miss, you're less likely to miss your ancestor if they were there and just were a little tardy getting their name in there. So best of luck with that, guys. So there you have it, guys, 5 steps to analyze the city directory as you start your genealogy research. If you would like to learn more about city directories and see more examples, click over to the blog post in the description below. That'll take you to the full blog post that this YouTube video is based on. And before you go though, guys, if you would do me a great big favor, I would love for it if you would click the subscribe button so that when I put out new videos here on the YouTube channel, you won't miss a thing. All right, guys, have a fantastic day and happy ancestor hunting. Bye.